Many people, relatives, friends, family members, were not so supportive. They were like, Vidalia is a small town and I'm really not sure if a music store would work. But growing up, I knew there was a need there for it. I knew that if you wanted something musical, you had to drive an hour and a half, either east or west of here. Growing up, my mother was the director of music of our church, and she played many different instruments, and I played for our church growing up as well. So she taught me to play many different instruments, kind of like I had an in-home music teacher. So music was always my first love. I would like to feel that, we have made a positive impact on the community for many individuals. A lot of kids who normally would not be able to be involved in music now can be involved in music. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to teach many kids music who now are in their own bands. In June of 2011, I had a sudden onset of a severe headache. And this headache, unlike other headaches, was a little different. This headache just kind of stayed with me for over 10 days. And that's when I said, something doesn't feel exactly right. I developed a slight tingling in my right arm. And at that point I said, we need to have this checked out immediately. So I went to the ER, and once at the ER, they performed a CAT scan, and the doctor came back and he said, well, we found a mass, and he said it has the appearance of what's known as a meningioma. It was a term I was not familiar with, but what I was familiar with was when he used a different term for it called tumor. I have two daughters, Madison, 8, and Emma Grace, who has just turned 7. Madison's really involved in gymnastics.
That's where you want it?
You take life for granted. You don't know what's around the corner. Every day, it makes me more appreciative of the things I have and the people around me.
It was a scary situation. And what's so scary on the internet is that you see a lot of people who have had negative outcomes. Chris was really determined to try to find a surgeon who could do a minimally invasive surgery. We went to all the major medical centers in our area. We traveled to another major medical center that was supposed to be the leading neurological center. All of the surgeons in our area said it was not possible.
So I did not want to have old-style craniotomy. I didn't want to have staples, big Frankenstein incision.
We looked on the internet, we made calls. I used all the resources that I had medically to find out the best places to go.
Through relentless searching, my wife and we discovered this minimally invasive technique called a supraorbital craniotomy, which was performed by Dr. Daniel Kelly in Santa Monica, California. So it wasn't just around the block, but if Dr. Daniel Kelly would have been in China, I would have been in China. The incision was actually hid inside the eyebrow. 2 days after the surgery, I still remember my wife, she was right in front of me when they took the bandage off, and she's like, wow. She's like, you can't even see the incision. And to me, it was like, I made the right decision. Me getting back to work was very important for the continued success of my business. I had people coming in and said, well, Chris, you know, have you made a decision on your surgery yet and when you might have it? One was even a doctor. I told him, I said, nah, you know, I said, I think I'm just going to leave things as, you know, they are. And he's like, well, Chris, do you think that's wise? He said, you know, I really don't, you know, I think you need to consider this. This is serious. I leaned in close to him and I said, I had the surgery, you know, a couple weeks ago. And he's like, do what? I was like, yeah, I had the surgery a couple weeks ago. He said, what, how? He said, where's the scar? And I was like, yeah. I said, isn't that great? A lot of times you take for granted those little things and you say, well, there's always tomorrow we can do it and all. And now after the surgery, you know, that everything is 100% great, these little things I'm going to enjoy and appreciate.